tell you what, every Zoom meeting from now on needs to have one of those countdowns because that's how you make it more exciting. How you going? This is Pete. I'm from Talking Health Tech, and this is your weekly live stream. I've got as well over there Aidan, who's our community manager at Talking Health Tech. We're going to go through everything that's been happening this week in the health tech scene, in digital health, and everything in between. We are going live on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. So if you're joining us from any of those platforms, drop us a line, drop us a comment here, and we'll be able to see it. I'll put the obligatory one here to get things going. And yeah, let's let us know what you want to talk about. We'll cover things as well. Aidan, you look like you're wearing a shirt that's appropriate for outside attire. That looks very exciting.
I know, yeah. I'm currently at the Macquarie University Hospital for my research year this year. So everyone's really nice around here. And funnily enough, last week, the Macquarie University Hospital reported their first use of the Versius surgical robotic system in Australia, which was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We covered that in the where did we cover that? We covered that on our weekly newsletter.
Industry.
Yeah.
In
the community, that's right. It was industry updates in the community. Actually, I'll jump back here and I'll go here in the industry updates. We'll pull that up. Where are we? Oops. Well, my LinkedIn is loading for some reason. Oh, I know why. Cool. Where were we? We were at the Macquarie. There it is. There's lots of news happening this week in the community.
Oh, yeah. It's been a very busy week.
So what's this one? Yeah, okay, great. So yeah, that's information about the I don't know much about robotics, I've got to say. Interesting area though. But it's good to see that there's some investment in it at Macquarie Uni. Yeah,
it's a very interesting device that they've got going that's been registered on the Australian Register for Therapeutic Goods, and they can be used in gynecological, urologic, and general lap surgery. So that's when you put little portals in and you feed rods in and you play around with certain areas in general surgery. And from a medical student perspective, it's a very cool thing to watch. But these robots are where you sit in a corner and look through a screen at it instead of over the top of a patient. So hopefully I get to see it in action at some point this year. But yeah, it'll be cool to see.
Can that kind of stuff be done remotely? Do you know? Like, surely that's like something that I've read elsewhere that over a period of time that they'll be able to do it where a doctor on one side of the world will be able to operate on a patient like in another country.
Yeah, one of the members of the community, I can't remember who it was, showed me an article in China at the moment where they're using 5G robots remotely, where a doctor can be in one province and then complete surgery in the other. And I think it's just starting to happen also in the UK and the US a little bit more often. But don't quote me on that.
Yeah. They don't look like this, though. I think that's just a random GIF that we've put into.
I
just realized, that would be pretty intimidating. But
I'd be freaking out if I saw that on the table before I was about to get operated on.
That's awesome. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, by the way, what we're looking at the Talking Health Tech newsletter. You can get that by going to, there's actually a link now on our website you can get the newsletter from. Oh, sorry, I put a mailbox over your head. But I think it's just talkinghealthtech.com/newsletter, and you can then subscribe and get your weekly update there. So what else did we put in the newsletter this week? It just went out today. We welcome some new members. FlightCare Global came on as a professional member, so welcome, guys. It's good to have you as part of the community and just getting set up now. We had some other companies join on as well. Ben from Solution came in as an individual member. Hey, this is some of the exciting stuff that we've got going on. So for THT Plus members, there's a free copy of Dr. Josh Case's book, Code Blue, like teaching doctors to code. You could buy that off. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You could get it off joshcase.dev, off his website. Great blog there, which you should definitely subscribe to. There's only 5 copies available of the book. So if you go there, you've got to be quick. It might already be gone. And if it is, you should buy a copy anyway. So that is available to THT Plus members. They can get that by going to, there's a link here that they'll find in the community forum, or you can just take it off here too. So then you get the code to then redeem that free book. And like I said, you might not be quick enough if you're not watching this live, and if you're not, then you should buy a copy anyway because it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a really interesting junior medical doctor up at Toowoomba General Hospital at the moment, who's recently gone part-time to pursue his interest in software products, and he's built a few things for the Queensland Health Department already that look very impressive for the junior doctors, and it's just really great to see that other people are dipping their toes in where their passions lie in the health tech field.
Yeah, that's good. It's an early release episode as well for those that are THT Plus members on the newsletter. They'll notice this episode here is available to listen to. It's an interview that I did with Josh. That'll be available on the public feed in a couple of weeks too for anyone that's not a member. So look out for that when it does come out, or check it out now if you're a THT Plus member. That was definitely one of my more favorite interviews. I mean, they're all my favorites. They're like children to me, the interviews on the podcast, but one with Josh is definitely worth checking out. So make sure you do. It's on all your favorite podcast players in a couple of weeks if you're not a member, or just become a THT Plus member to get early access. Last week, we didn't do this one. I like doing this weekly kind of routine, the weekly kind of wrap up. But last week we did one which was a little bit different with James Somaru from the HealthTech podcast in the UK. It was 7 a.m. for him. It looked like it was the middle of the night for him though, because I think he'd woken up like 5 minutes beforehand. But I'm sure he didn't mind me saying that. No, he's a good guy. So we chatted about everything in health tech. There was some awesome engagement. It was at a pretty good time as well. So I think that's why we had some good conversations, and James is just a cool dude too. So if you do want to check out the recording of that, you can go to the link that's available there. You can get it on any of our social platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Probably if you're watching this, then you can probably find the video there. So check that out. We're going to be doing these live sessions on a weekly basis as well. So if there's a better time, if you're watching this recording, like, no, I would have liked to have attended this. If there's a better time that you reckon, then let us know, put it in the chat, or send us a message through Talking Health Tech, and we can listen to you and make some changes. As well, our feature member for this week is Athol, one of the early adopting founding members of Talking Health Tech. He's started a little bit of a trend of sharing his sock pictures on social media. His Birch merch, hashtag Birch merch. I should get the little hashtag going at the bottom. Where are we? There we go. Get the ticker. So we've got the Birch merch happening there, and actually Nathan as well on the community just posted some online. So if you're seeing pictures of Talking Health Tech socks all over LinkedIn, that's because community members are earning their sock badge. And actually, that's probably a good time for. Oh, sorry, mate. That's probably a good time for us to then get into this bit. What I wanted to do, Aiden, is like kind of celebrate the community members who've got their badges for this week. So firstly,
a badge ceremony, hey?
Yeah, we'll get a badge ceremony. I need my little sound thing here. I'll bring my sound panel for next week so I can play like a song or something like that for the badges. But then firstly, we've got the sock badges. I'll put a sock on your face. There you go. Cool.
There we go.
Yeah. That doesn't work anyway. But Nathan and Athol have got their badge for posting their sock pictures online. We've got Dina and Athol have got their very active member badges for being very active members of the community. We've got this way to calculate engagement on the community, and they've just been posting a lot of stuff, so they've earned that badge. I've also got the Challenge of the Month winners as well. Dina and Zoe and Robert have all got their Challenge of the Month badges, some for January, some for February. We run different challenges in the community, and they've been successful in getting those, so that's what they've got available. Really, it's just for gloating pleasure to put a little badge on their profile, but they're well esteemed kind of individuals that have badges in the community, so it's worth fighting for.
Yeah, I also heard that the Sox might have got Nathan along over the line this morning with his meeting with the CIO of his local health district. So fingers crossed they come through for everyone else in the future.
Yeah. Man, it can make the difference. It can make or break a meeting.
Yeah.
So, the news in the on the Talking Health Tech website. So, Health Engine, being a company member of Talking Health Tech, have posted some news, and that's around their partnership with MedAdvisor. Obviously, very pertinent and relevant these days with the appointment booking functionality requirements for the COVID vaccine, as we all as an industry in real time work out what we need to do. So it's great to see that at least appointment providers are coming up with solutions, whilst I guess the department comes up with something in between, and we'll all kind of meet in the middle, I think. So it's good to see some partnerships there. I know other providers who are also working on some similar things, but a good article to check out there if you've not already.
Yeah, only 5 days to go till the first rollout, Pete.
Yeah, man.
Exciting times ahead.
Yeah, it's all happening very quick. But it's not like it's not like it should have been a surprise. But anyway, that's okay. Isn't that funny? Why does my screen do that? Okay, cool. It's got some upcoming events. We've got on the 4th of March, a networking session held by Telstra Health. The details of that here. It's all virtual, so it's all safe and lovely. So just register using the link that's available on the Talking Health Tech website. Just go to talkinghealthtech.com/events, and that is available here. We've got a few other things going on. We've got the National Telehealth Summit, which is a big one. And that is, I'm actually going to be chairing one of those days. It's a 2-day event. And I think they're just releasing the lineup now, which you can check out on their website. It's a good session. It goes for 2 days, and it's good for those that are implementing telehealth solutions within their health setting. And yeah, if you are a Talking Health Tech member, you can get a bit of a discount on the tickets as well. So check out the community for how to do that. I mentioned that one. Yeah, the summit, that's going to be a big one for us. We've got the Talking Health Tech Summit coming up in a bit over a month. And so that's the 23rd of March. And if you go to talkinghealthtech.com/summit, it's actually a dedicated page for it here. We haven't got the lineup officially announced here yet, but
it is massive so far.
Yeah, looking at some of the thank you to everybody who have submitted requests to speak, and also those that have indicated that they're good to participate. We've been having some conversations this week. Just because we haven't spoken to, if you have applied and we haven't spoken to you, it doesn't mean that you're not part of the summit yet. We're just working it all out this week. So keep an ear out if you have submitted an application to speak. But the event's going to be the 23rd of March. It's an all-day thing, and you can get tickets through our website. So you do need to register to get a ticket. Now, if you're a Talking Health Tech THT Plus member, you don't need to pay. You just access your ticket through the community, which is community.talkinghealthtech.com, but you should all have access to it. But you don't have to become a member to attend the event. You can purchase a ticket through the website. Just go to talkinghealthtech.com/summit, and you can buy that there. Trust me, it's going to be good. So you should buy a ticket now. If you do want to wait until next week to see who's going to be speaking at the event, that's totally cool too. Do that. And get amongst it. It's going to be.
But you should really buy a ticket now after seeing some of the applications. It's going to be a really awesome day.
Yeah, I'm really keen to do something that's because we do conversations on the podcast all the time, obviously, right? But they're not live. We do some of these. We do a live webinar here and there, but then we'll convert that into an episode of the podcast for those that miss it. The summit. It's not like we're going to be turning every conversation from the summit into a podcast episode. So to hear these conversations, you do need to go to the event. Or at least register for it to have access to the recordings of it. But it won't be something that will be made available to everyone for free this time. But it is going to be, we want to make use of the live collaborative kind of setting and the fact that we can have multiple thought leaders all together at the one time. So we're going to be erring more on the side of the fireside chats and the panels, less keynotes. There might be a keynote here and there, like where someone presents and talks about things, but it's going to be more focused on the engagement side of things, the discussion, the building on ideas, and kind of hopefully making some connections that couldn't have otherwise been made. So if you are excited about the summit and you're watching in live now, let us know whether you're going to go or not. Put a note in the comments section of YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you're watching this now, and let us know whether you'll be coming or not. But yeah, check it out.
It's going to be, and like it's the whole premise of Talking Health Tech. Hey, Pete, having these people come together and collaborate on new ideas that can improve Australian healthcare, and it's just be a really awesome day to see all these thought leaders come together and have some very interesting conversations about the future in Australia.
Totally looking forward to it. It's going to be a ripper of an event, that's for sure. If you're looking for jobs or looking at just interested about who's advertising for what, we've got the Talking Health Tech jobs page, talkinghealthtech.com/jobs, which you can just find up here. But there's a good summary of it on our newsletter. Alcidian are looking for an implementation consultant. You can check out the details there. Osmed look at a marketing manager from memory. Yep, a brand and marketing manager. Ali Health, that one looks pretty cool. It's a head coach peer support role.
Ali Health is actually a newer company coming out of Sydney looking to create a community for people who have overcome or are currently going through addiction issues, whether that be alcohol and drugs, obviously. And so far, it looks like a very awesome cause to get around. So if you're into helping others go through some of the toughest times in their lives, then that's a role that you should really check out.
Excellent. That's a good thing. Hey, we just had somebody come on as a THT Plus member. Welcome to Michelle. Thank you so much for coming on. So I think you'll start getting access to the community and hopefully come along to the summit as well. So speak to you in the community. Michelle, thanks so much for coming on. But yes, Ali Health, definitely an interesting organization I've learned a little bit about over the past week or so. So check out more information about that gig they've got going on and working towards some really good causes. So that's great that they're on the community there. We've got the customer success manager gig at Foxo, not Soxo. And then we've got the account management lead at Health Match too, which is cool. So it's good. There's quite a few roles for people who, like, you don't have to be a certified health informatician or any other kind of specific qualification in digital health to work in digital health. I think having just the passion for healthcare, being able to service customers and doing something good in the world. There are a lot of people in Australia who want to work within a digital health setting who might not be clinically trained or technically trained or anything else, but would add a lot of value to the industry. So some of these gigs, there's a particular focus on all of these that you don't necessarily need to be qualified as anything other than just be passionate around digital health to be able to get amongst them. So check it out. There are other roles. There were so many jobs that went up this week, so we didn't even get all of them in the newsletter this week. So check out talkinghealthtech.com/jobs for more information. Cool. And then really at the end, we've got a bit of a summary of all the podcast episodes that have gone up. If you've not subscribed to Talking Health Tech on your podcast player, just search for it. Any of the podcast players, will have it if they're good. And we're up to episode 106, which came out this morning on the public feed. So we're well past 100. We're just about to hit, spoiler alert for everyone on the live stream, we're just about to hit over 30,000 downloads. I think that's going to happen today. So that'll be probably in the news next week for us. That we only hit 20,000 at the end of last year. So the curve is doing this, which is good. Thank you,
old
everyone.
hockey stick, hey?
The old hockey stick, yeah. It's great to see a bit of a rhythm there in terms of being able to get more content out and interesting guests on. Speaking of interesting guests, the one with Sam Lanyon was cool, definitely around commercialization and advanced manufacturing in healthcare. Also linked to what he does with Lumos Diagnostics, which is a cool product. Then the Green Dispensary episode with Anthony Condina came out to the public feed. Always interesting to learn about medical compounding and medical cannabis, two areas that I definitely learned a lot more about by listening to the show or by conducting that interview. I listen to my own show too, okay? And I learn. And actually, yeah, today the episode with Luca came out with Introduce Health. Focus more on the finances. And so for doctors working in Australia, managing finances, getting a good handle of that, Luca provided some good insights from his perspective on how to get across it all. Actually, as well, episode 110, there's a bit of a funny order going on at the moment, but you can access that live on the public feed now with best practice. That one's a great one around all the changes that are taking place around active ingredient prescribing. So if you're a GP, if you're a doctor in Australia and you're prescribing medications, you'll know now that from the 1st of February, you don't prescribe brands, you have to prescribe the active ingredients. And so there's a lot of heavy lifting that needs to be done by the software providers to be able to do that so that you can still, search for a brand name and then it pops out a prescription that is the active ingredients. But there's all these kind of nuances and kind of caveats and interesting things that get thrown up that we discuss in this episode. And it's great too, because Frank and Lorraine from Best Practice, they're very hands-on and they know the scene really well. So they've provided some great insights, as well as, everyone else in that conversation too. It was, it's great to hear some real practical, helpful information around like a topic that impacts a lot of people. So check it out. Early release episodes, we'll go into those in more detail once they're available to the public, but there's also bonus episodes around becoming a better leader within healthcare. So check those out if you're a THT Plus member. But that's really that's what's been happening in the scene this week. Did I miss anything, Aidan? Anything you can think of?
We had some interesting talks on the community chat about designer babies this past week. And it brought up some very interesting questions, especially with the COVID vaccine coming out at the moment, around what happens once we start curing some of these diseases. Do we get totally new diseases come through afterwards, or do we just remain the same with different different diseases still being around in the future?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, isn't it? The whole kind of, if we've got the ability to eliminate disease, should we do it? And then what happens then? It's kind of a little bit like, from a non-clinical perspective, it's a bit like Back to the Future. But
yeah, or it can also turn into a bit of a Black Mirror situation too.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what that was. Is this showing my age or just me not watching enough TV? Like, I don't know.
Probably your age, I guess. And then we had another interesting chat about return on investments. Apparently, a lot of our community members have been having discussions with other companies on collaborations. And a major question that keeps popping up all the time is, what's the return on investment if we decide to go with you guys in the future, and how to actually quantify that in the current age? And Robert had some very interesting perspectives from what he's learned as CEO of
Cognium.
Completely forgot. Yeah, Cognium. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness. They're going to bully me after this because of that.
It's okay. We can find out if they watch the live stream or not. It's okay.
Yeah. They'll send me a really awful mess. No, they're really good people. Yeah. So he's had some very interesting perspectives around the macroeconomics of return on investments, especially when you're trying to market yourselves to a larger community, such as like the public health system or certain areas of private health as well. So that was a very interesting topic as well.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, there's always a good conversation that's happening in the Talking Health Tech community. If you do want to learn more about it, go to talkinghealthtech.com /THT plus. Actually, no, you can go to THT.plus now. I managed to get a shorter URL that you can you can go to. Yeah, man, little tiny URL. There you go, THT.plus, and that'll take you to the page to tell you more about THT plus membership, what we do and why we have it as a membership. It is something that, you know, it's great to be able to have some like-minded individuals come together on the community, have a little bit of skin in the game to be able to, you know, demonstrate that they're, you know, passionate about and interested in the health tech scene. They want to contribute. But then it also contributes to having a safe place to have these conversations as well. So we are spending a lot of time on moderation or like ensuring we're getting the right members in and working with those that are unsure about whether they're a good fit or not to come in to then hopefully you know, make sure it's that they're happy as well and that we can bring them in and they can get the most out of the membership. So if you're unsure or want to come in and just learn a bit more about it, get in touch with us through the website, talkinghealthtech.com, and we can chat more about it. And yeah, it's something a little bit different. I don't think there's too many things like it within the industry. So if you don't quite understand what's going on, then let us know and we'll take you through it. And
we'll be happy to talk about it.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think that's it, man. I'm going to let you get back to uni and you can be all, you know, understand what's happening in Macquarie there. But let's
the
chat.
Reds just walked in before, so I'm in trouble for stealing their room here. So I better let them back in. Otherwise I'll be
Good idea. Good start. You got to leave a good impression. But look, thanks everyone for joining today, for checking out the recording. Drop us a message in this chat here or jump onto talkinghealthtech.com. Let us know you checked it out and we'll catch you all next week.
Yeah. See you then, guys. Bye.
Bye.